video on fermenting and hopefully turning some yogurt whey into alcohol. So there is a Scandinavian drink where they, like a Viking drink, where they ferment sweetened whey from yogurt, not from yogurt, from cheese, into alcohol. And I suppose I should have done some more research on it, but I just kind of thought, we'll just wing it and see we kind of have a go. So I haven't got any whey from cheese, but I have got some whey from yogurt, which is I make yogurt and then thicken it up. What I do is strain it through a cloth, and then you get rid of some of the moisture, and it thickens up the yogurt and makes it much more luxurious. So I've got some of that, and normally just throw it away, or save some of it to make the next batch. But I kind of thought, well, actually, we'll have a go at doing this. I think I've done it before in the past. When I was fermenting lots of different things, and I can't remember if it kind of worked. But anyway, I thought we'd have another go. So, because the yogurt whey will have the bacteria in from making the yogurt, we want to kill that bacteria, because that's not the bacteria that we want to ferment it. And we don't kind of want the two bacteria that we're going to be using to kind of collide, because I'm going to be using I bought some champagne yeast, so I don't want the bacteria from the yogurt making process to kind of be battling against that for domination. So it's just champagne, sparkling wine, and cider yeast. It goes to a higher alcohol content, the champagne yeast, rather than just normal yeast. You can just ferment your own grapes to collect natural yeast, but you don't actually know which type of yeast that you're getting if you do that. Whereas if you actually buy the yeast from a proper wine place, you know exactly that you're getting the proper yeast to make the wine, so it will kind of affect the alcohol content and all that kind of stuff. I don't know enough about it. I just kind of know it worked. I collected, when I was faffing about during the lockdown with lots of different things, I was faffing about with lots of different things, and I kind of thought, how easy is it to collect your own yeast to make something? And it's pretty straightforward. Just smash up some grapes and leave them on the windowsill, and then over a few days they start to bubble, and that means that you start collecting yeast. And it's kind of quite an interesting thing to do. Rather than I just kind of thought, what, I suppose I never really go down the easy option, do I? It's just easy to buy the yeast and make wine, but my brain doesn't kind of do that. My brain kind of wants to go, well, let's collect some yeast and see if we can do it that way. Will that work? So that's but I haven't got any of the yeast that I collected left. I threw it away ages ago when I got bored of fermenting things for fun and keeping myself entertained. So then I bought some yeast and I made some mead, which was alright. I wasn't 100% happy with it, but we just thought we'd have a go at doing this. So it was about 1.8 litres worth of whey, and then we've got, I can't remember the exact quantities. I've just got 2 jars of honey in the cupboard, and it's just cheap honey. It will actually be honey. I know there's lots of fake honey out there that comes from China. In the UK we have laws that say if something says it's honey on the label, it has to be honey, and the supermarkets aren't going to be stupid enough to sell something that isn't honey. Although I don't know. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, it's proper. It'll be proper honey. I don't know. They're not stupid. They're not stupid enough not to sell proper honey with something labelled as honey. They'd get themselves in all kinds of trouble. So, about 1.8 litres worth of whey, and then we've got, that's 450 grams, and that one is 340 grams. I can't remember what the exact recipe is, but and then I just kind of thought we'll put in some spices as well, just a little bit, just to kind of change the kind of how it is. So we've got 3 cloves, bit of cinnamon, not much, and then a star anise, well, half a star anise, and I'm going to bring this up to the boil, which will melt everything together, kill the bacteria that's in the yogurt or in the whey already, and then we'll just put that in the microwave, and then we'll let it cool down till it gets to about blood temperature, and then we'll put the yeast in, and then we'll pour it into a kind of demijohn-ish that I've got, which is this here. I've just got some boiling water in it. It's not a proper demijohn, it's cheap cider from the supermarket. Came in it, and it was a friend's, and I was like, well, that's kind of quite interesting, I might be able to do something with that. So it's just like a 2 litre demijohn kind of type of thing, and we'll pour it into there. And I've got some proper wine thingamajigs, airlocks. You can make your own, but I bought some, and then we'll sprinkle in some yeast as well. I'm not sure how much. I don't think it really kind of matters, because it's, as long as you put enough in that the culture kind of starts, I don't think it really, it's going to, the sugar in the honey is going to kind of feed it, so it's going to double in size anyway. So even if I put in half the amount that I'm supposed to do, I'm not looking at any recipes, I'm just kind of winging this. If I don't put enough yeast in, the yeast is going to start fermenting anyway, and it might take a little bit longer. But anyway, so that's what we're going to do. We'll bring this up to the boil, just to kill any bacteria that's in there that we don't want it fermenting. It's just more a case of it would ferment in a different way, and the way that yeast cultures kind of work. Certainly working with when you make sourdough, when you collect the yeast for a sourdough, you're collecting lots of different types of yeast, and then the type of yeast that you want to make the sourdough kind of over time dominates and takes over from the other types of yeast. So we don't want any kind of conflict between yeasts. We actually want to be able to control what yeast we're using to ferment this yogurt, whey and honey concoction. But anyway, so that's it. So we'll bring this up to the boil, let it cool, and then we'll put it in the demijohn-ish, with some yeast, and I'll give it a bit of a shake up, and then we'll put an airlock in, and we'll see how we go. It will be a bit of fun, if anything. Right, it has cooled to room temperature. Well, a little bit warmer than room temperature, but that's fine. That's not going to kill the yeast, so we'll wing it. There's a little bit of foam on top as well, but I think that'll be fine. I think that'll drop the sediment. So we will add about that much yeast. I'm sure that will be a sufficient amount of yeast. Spilling a bit. I tasted it. It was alright actually. Sweet and a little bit spicy. It smells yeasty now. You smell like yeast. That smells really nice, does that? So that on there, and then we'll pour it into the demijohn. All very scientific. I'll make sure that the spices go in there as well. What do you know? There's just enough liquid for the demijohn. I've lost a bit of yeast in there. Where's that? That wants to go in that. Definitely want that flavour in that. Push that in. Everything's nice and clean, so it should be fine. They want to go in that. That wants to go in that. And what else we got? We just need that bit of yeast to go in there as well. So we'll spoon that in, I think. Oops, that'll do. There'll be enough yeast in there, that'll be fine. And then we need a little bit of water in there. Airlock. Down there. And then we'll see how it goes. Need some more tape around there. That'll be fine. I'll put some more tape around there, and then we'll put the yeah, that's nice and warm. You can see there's plenty of yeast in there. That's fine. It's going down to the bottom. That's fine. So I'll put the airlock on. And we'll stick it on the windowsill, not in direct sunlight. We don't want to do that. And then we'll see how it goes. But it should start fermenting quite quickly. I would have thought. Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be right. See where we go. And we have fermentation. There you go. So this is 4 days later. So it takes a while. And the fermentation speeds up. So it's taken 4 days to get to this kind of stage. I don't know, every 5 minutes it's forming a bubble, something like that. We've got some nice yeasty growth around the top of the demijohn. So we'll just leave that to ferment for how long it takes. It probably took a few weeks. You can buy heating mats to heat it up, and therefore it ferments quicker. What I've done in the past is I'll put it on top of a radiator or next to a radiator in the winter time, but it's not that time of year when you can put a radiator on, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it there, and it will just slowly ferment until it stops, and we'll see how long that takes.